Good morning, guys. So this morning I want to share from the book of Mark. I want to read from chapter 7, verses 31 through 37. And again, departing from the coast of Tyre and Sidon, he came into the Sea of Galilee through the midst of the coasts of Decapolis. And they bring unto him one that was deaf and had an impediment in his speech. And they beseech him to put his hand upon him. And he took him aside from the multitude, and put his fingers into his ears, and he spit and touched his tongue. And looking up to heaven, he sighed, and saith unto him, Ephphatha, that is, be opened. And straightway his ears were opened, and the string of his tongue was loosed, and he spake plain. And he charged them that they should tell no man, but the more he charged them, so much the more a great deal they published it, and were beyond measure astonished, saying, He hath done all things well. He maketh both the deaf to hear and the dumb to speak. So, this is one of the miracles that Jesus had done. A multitude of people saw Jesus, and this was sometime. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry. This was sometime after Jesus drove out a devil from a daughter to this woman. And, anyways, a multitude approached Jesus with this gentleman who was deaf and dumb, couldn't speak, he was mute. And they beseeched him to cure this man. And so he did as they asked. And he told them not to say anything to anybody about it. But the more that he pressed them not to do it, the more they did it. He wasn't looking for notoriety or fame. He was just healing the man out of love for him. But the thing about miracles is that whenever we as human beings see a miracle happen, we don't keep it quiet. We want to tell everybody what we saw. And I think that's why it said, he charged them that they should tell no man, but the more he charged them, so much more, a great deal, they published it. So, the more that he tried to keep it on the low key, the more the people wanted to shout out and spread the news about him, about what he had done, because they could not believe that Jesus was able to make somebody hear and somebody speak who never could. So why would Jesus charge them not to say anything to man when he knows full and well that they were going to do it? I think it's just a picture of how humble Christ was. And that's how we're seeing it in the scriptures. I mean, that's the way that it comes across to me. like I said, Jesus wasn't out to get notoriety or fame. He came to rescue the people of Israel. He came to rescue the Jewish people, the Jewish nation. We have to remember, he didn't come for the Gentiles when he was on this earth. He specifically came to save God's chosen people. And after he was crucified and was buried and rose again and ascended to heaven, well, he then decided to use Saul, who was the most zealous of all the Israelites. I mean, Saul would put Christians in prison or even have them killed, because that's how fixated and zealous he was for the literal word or law of Moses, I should say. And it's basically because God took his greatest enemy, I guess you can kind of say, and made him the greatest apostle to the Gentiles. Everything that we learn could be attributed to Paul's calling by Jesus to spread the news, because God's chosen people still wasn't listening. They did not want a humble, meek Savior. They were looking for a powerful, strong, outspoken warrior to be king, to defeat all the enemies of Israel. So I probably got off track there, but anyways, I honestly think that the fact that he kept charging them not to say anything, was because he was humble. He was there for one thing, and that was to do the Father's will, to reconcile the Israelites back to God, and to come to this earth to be the living, perfect sacrifice for all sin, for all of mankind. He didn't come to showboat. He didn't come to gain, like I said, he didn't come to gain fame or notoriety. He came to do the Father's will, and that was it. And I don't know. I may have gotten off track this morning. But anyways, I love you guys. You have a blessed day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.